Hi everyone, and welcome to Glendale today. I'm your host Lisa Aquafreda, and we are joined by Rainier Perez. Gotta shake your hand. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
He is the EMT Program Director right here at Glendale Community College.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. You guys have an amazing EMT program, but first and foremost, what is an EMT?
An EMT is an emergency medical technician, and it's the first level of licensure that the state of Arizona recognizes as a first responder in our community.
And what is the difference between an EMT and a paramedic?
So an EMT is the lowest level of a paramedic, so to speak, and the paramedic is the highest level of an EMT. An EMT has about 160 hours of basic training, whereas a paramedic has 1,500 hours of life-saving techniques and equipment that they could use to save someone's life.
And then right here, our viewers may not know this, or whoever will be interested in this, is you guys have a really remarkable program right here on the campus of GCC. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. We take great pride in our program, everything from the EMT to the paramedic to the fire science level. We integrate all three programs together to develop the best trained, the most competent students out there serving our community.
And it's really showing in the numbers and the awards, right?
Right. We like to brag that we have one of the highest national registry pass rates in the state right now.
And where does an EMT go for work? How do they follow that career path?
Right. So an EMT is that first step, so to speak. And EMTs that graduate from our program find employment working for an ambulance company, any of the local fire departments. A lot of them take this as a stepping stone to become ER techs in the emergency room for a hospital, or even to go into the nursing program, physician's assistant program, and even to become a physician somewhere.
So when you mention all these other programs, you have even more than EMT. You have like fire science and so many other different programs. What is that here?
Between all three programs, they're all collaborated together, and it's just different branches where students have different interests. A lot of them tend to be geared towards being firefighters in our community.
That's wonderful. And is there like a mentorship program, or you work with other like community agencies to prepare these students?
So here at Glendale Community College, we're so fortunate to have partnerships not only with the city of Glendale, but El Mirage, North County EMS, Avondale, and they all come and help us collaborate and train these future generation of students and first responders.
And then last question for you. So our viewers at home, is it possible that when they're called out on a scene, an emergency happens, it could be one of these GCC students attending to them?
Absolutely, and we take pride here as instructors that when we train our students, I'm training them like they're going to be responding to my family and my home. So they better know what they're doing.
And that's really important. And after the break, we're going to visit with some of those future students and former students and talk with them about their experience. We'll be right back.
Visual storytelling is what the digital cinema arts is all about at Glendale Community College. Whether your interests are in screenwriting, cinematography, editing, and much more, the program teaches you the skills that you need to pursue for a career in visual storytelling. Here's what some of the students are saying.
Just naturally picking up the camera itself and start filming, more insight to what needs to be done out in the field, and as well as techniques for filming out in the field.
Mixture of meeting people who want to do the same thing, so it's a mixture of also connections at the same time. The department is very, very inviting. It's friendly. The teachers are going to go out of their way to help you out. They're going to put in their 100% effort if you put in your 100% effort.
I really like the film program at GCC because we have all the equipment that a university would have. The buying of a few GH4 cameras, they shoot in 4K. And they're DSLR style, so they're pretty versatile and they give you hands-on experience and you don't have to buy a giant cinema camera. The program has definitely given me the tools to work extracurricularly, if that makes any sense. I've gotten a few freelance jobs with the knowledge base that I have now, and even on some feature productions, I've got to have a hand in working with them. It's been a lot of fun.
The GCC's Digital Cinema Arts program is a testament to just how good a program can be without a huge budget, how just like a few good teachers can come in and teach everybody what we need to know, and we can get great films and documentaries made without like a massive budget.
Film integrates a lot of pieces of art, sound, music, pictures, motion pictures, and just to integrate all of those into one piece is unlike anything else. There's no such thing as a bad idea.
Hello and welcome back to Glendale today. I'm joined by two former EMT students right here. This is Abraham and Grayson. Welcome, and we appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about the experiences. So you went in through the program, and now you're putting it into the workforce. What's that like for you, Grayson?
It's honestly a blast. I love every minute of it. You know, having gone through the GCC program, it's given me a confidence in my skill to be able to go out there and to be able to, you know, work with people, work with kids especially.
I love it. You know, this program has given me a lot of chance to network with a lot of great people. I have always wanted to get in a career path where I can help other people and be a better member of society, and EMT is the first step to that.
And Abraham, so you're telling me that's the first step. So what are those skills that automatically come into play that you learned?
Well, there's a lot of technical skills that we're trained during the EMT class in order just to meet the minimum company standard, but they teach us a lot of emotional and how to be their support to our guests and our customers, because we're there to serve them and give them the best quality that they can get.
And I can imagine when it's a really scary situation, you guys have to put that behind you and go right into work mode. How do you do that, Grayson?
Well, in our EMT class, we learned one of the most important things that we learned, I believe, was that, you know, you need to be able to separate your life from your work life. And so when we go into those calls, you know, we go into with that mindset that, hey, we're here to help these people to the best of our abilities. We're here to make your day better. You know, we're here to help you for that. And I go in knowing that I'm doing the best I can, the most I can for these people on their worst day. And I leave knowing that I've done the best that I can.
Is there a personal story that you got to put that into action?
Well, I work as a reserve firefighter for Globe Fire Department. And one of the calls that we went on was actually a mass casualty incident with a motorcycle gang.
Oh, wow.
And without going into too much detail about it, I was able to help them, and I was able to use my skills effectively to treat not only the girl, but also the entire group. So,
how about for you, Abraham?
For me, it's just a lot of experience getting to know the people, and I've gotten to put those skills to use. In the academy, I actually have been there for support a lot, but it helped me at work. I serve at a Boilos Mexican restaurant, and right outside the restaurant, somebody had fallen and gotten injured, and I just had somebody watch my section. I ran out there and was able to make sure that these older couple, that they were okay and nothing was injured, and I was there to support them.
So just last question for you guys. How is GCC really teamed you up and connected you with jobs?
I know that I can talk to any of these EMT instructors here, that I can talk to Todd Polanski, and I can go up to these people and I can say, hey, you know, I'm looking for an EMT job. Do you guys know anyone who's hiring? Do you guys know any hospitals, or do you have any connections that you guys can hook me up with? And I know almost 100% of the time they're there for you for that. Not only with hospitals, but with fire. You know, they're there to help you with your interview prep. They're there to help you with your networking, with getting into these different fire departments.
How about for you, Abraham, real quick?
Well, for me, real fast, like I said, it's very hard to get into the fire department, and the EMT program is magnificent because there's a lot of different firefighters and instructors throughout the valley and many different departments that work with the EMT program. And getting hired, it's all about your reputation. So taking this class, our reputation starts there, and when we go to test for these departments, these people know that, you know, we're competent in our skills and we know how to do the job.
Thank you both so much. We appreciate it, and thank you. We will be right back to see how some of these skills are put to use.
Stow your treasures or be a prey of piracy.
If you're willing to wear helmets and pads, gas masks, and colored vests to keep yourself safe, then wearing a seatbelt is as simple as a
Hello and welcome back to Glendale today. I'm back with Rainier Perez, and this is some of the EMT students right now, and they're going to show us and demonstrate what all of this is here. But first, let's go and check some video, and this is some of the skills that the students do. If we can go ahead and roll that video.
Right, so what we're showing in this video is some of our students loading one of a mock patient or a mannequin in the back of an ambulance. And they're doing an assessment, making sure the patient is stable by listening to the lung sounds and making sure that the vital signs are there. And make sure the patient is safely strapped in. And they're going to go ahead and load this patient in the back of one of our ambulances that we actually have here on campus that belong to us, and go ahead and initiate transport to definitive treatment, the hospital, the emergency department.
This seems so real. This is like what you would see when you're out on a call, and this is the experience they're getting right here at GCC.
Absolutely. We want them using the equipment that they're going to be using out there in the field, and what better way to do it than actually having hands on this equipment. And we're so privileged to have the relationships with our community partners or our city partners here that donate this equipment to us.
And what are some of those type of courses and classes? Like, how long does this timeline last for these students?
So for the EMT certification program, it's a semester-long course. So it's 16 weeks from start to finish, and they come out with a course completion certificate, which allows them to test for national registry and eventually gain a licensure here in the state of Arizona.
And we're joined by some EMT students right now. Thanks for joining us, guys. And what are they going to demonstrate for us?
So what they're going to demonstrate is a basic CPR with the introduction of an AED. So Corey's going to find a patient that's unresponsive. He's going to go ahead and demonstrate how we would
do it.
Right. He's going to assess the patient.
Are you okay?
Without any response, he's going to go ahead and initiate CPR compressions with this patient. And then Julian was going to arrive on scene. He's going to go ahead and actually attach the automatic external defibrillator.
Okay, and you mentioned the last thing, an AED. A lot of us don't know what that is or where we can find that.
Right, so an automatic external defibrillator attempts to reset that lethal cardiac rhythm that the patient's in. An AED or automatic external defibrillator, they're found at malls, at the gym, at elementary schools, at the airport, and it is really one of those life-saving procedures that an EMT learns how to do to effectively save somebody's life.
Now, let's talk about that emotional part. When something like this is going on, you have a real emergency, you have people screaming and yelling, and it can be completely emotional.
Absolutely.
How do the students go into work mode?
So what we try to incorporate in our students is that muscle memory, that they're focused on just doing the job that's on hand. And of course, that emotional aspect is going to be there, but we're training them to kind of set that aside in order to do the best that they can to effectively treat the patient.
In how many classes does this go on? Is it CPR and this that's taught here, and then this? I mean, what's that course?
Right.
Course
So
load look like?
EMT encompasses that CPR training and then that patient contact component. And really, we're talking about 160 hours of not only classroom, but also of skills days where we're just practicing how to do compressions, practicing how to do patient assessments, splinting, bleeding control, all that stuff that the skills that they need to know in emergency medicine.
What do you think is the most important thing that GCC does in the EMT program here to prepare students for success?
I think we're hard on our students. We want these students to be the very best, and whenever I am instructing a class or teaching a lab, I'm always have that mindset that you're going to be responding to my house, to my family members, you're going to be responding to my friends, and I want to emphasize that I want the very best to show up.
And where can students go to find out more, or anyone who's interested in this program?
They could visit our website at gccaz.edu/EMT, and they could just look on the website, and if they want more information, they could come down here to our campus and ask questions.
Perfect. We appreciate your time again.
Thank
you guys, and thank you for watching Glendale Today. We'll see you next time.
You guys doing a good job.
Good job.